And when the Liberals talk about firearms policy, they mean firearms bans. Bill Blair was the point man in this. He is the former police chief of Toronto who oversaw the explosion of gang violence there. Now he's the man the Liberals have tasked with making Canada safer. And we note that Bill Blair announced a key plank in his public safety platform. That's something that's been in the law for, I don't know, upwards of 30 years, but leave it to the firearms gun grabbers to not know what's actually in the law and what actually affects the people there.
Our government has promised Canadians that we will do everything required to keep them safe. And we have also promised Canadians that we would strengthen gun control in this country. And let me be very clear, this is not directed towards the firearms that are used by hunters and sport shooters in Canada. Those hunters and sports shooters obey our laws, and they earn the privilege of firearm ownership through their hard work. They buy their guns legally, they store them safely, they use them responsibly, and they follow all of our laws. But we also know that there are other firearms that have no place in Canadian society. We know that those firearms have been used, they were designed to kill people, and they have been used to kill people here in Canada, at École Polytechnique, at Portapique, in Moncton, in Fredericton, in Meyerthorpe, and in places right across this country. And they are used every single day in the United States to kill people. Mr. Poilievre has promised the gun lobby that he will weaken our gun laws. Mr. Poilievre has promised the gun lobby that he will restore the legality of assault rifles in our communities. And he's promised the gun lobby that he will give us American-style gun laws. Canada is not America, and we need to stand up for our country, our values, and our beliefs. And we need to do everything possible to keep our communities safe.
Rick, break down what happened Thursday in the Liberals' firearms policy announcement.
Well, thanks for having me on your show, Sheila. Thursday, Mark Carney, this is the second time he made this announcement. He made the announcement in the French debate where he says he's going to continue the gun bans and the gun seizures. But on Thursday, he decided to do a high-profile event with Natalie Provost, the non-lobbyist lobbyist for the Liberals, who's now running for the Liberals, and Bill Blair to basically say that he's going to put a law out there that if there's any intimate partner violence, his words, that he's going to clamp down hard on it. Although the law has been in place, like Sheila said, for 30 years.
Tariffs are not the only American policies that are threatening our economy and our society. They're also threatening the safety of our communities. Criminals are taking advantage of irresponsible American gun laws and their weak border enforcement to bring illegal guns into Canada. Large American online platforms have become seas of racism, misogyny, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and hate in all its forms. And they're being used by criminals to harm our children. My government will act. And today we're announcing our plan to fight crime, to protect Canadians, and to build communities that are safe, secure, and strong. A plan to make Canada secure, to make Canada strong. Criminals are trying to illegally import guns to Canada. Pierre Poilievre is trying to import irresponsible American-style gun laws into our country. You can't be serious about being tough on crime if you're not willing to be tough on guns. You can't be serious about stopping intimate partner violence without being serious about gun control. When we know from our own tragic history how often guns are involved. We are taking action, all while respecting the long-standing traditions of hunting and sports shooting and respecting the traditions of Indigenous peoples. If elected, my government will automatically revoke gun licenses for individuals convicted of violent offenses, including intimate partner violence. We will strengthen firearms licensing and the so-called yellow and red flag laws that keep weapons out of the hands of those who are a risk to themselves or others. We will invest in the RCMP's National Forensic Laboratories in Ottawa and Surrey and the Saskatchewan Ballistics Lab to increase our capacity to track down guns used in crimes. We will quickly, and I mean quickly, reinvigorate the buyback of assault-style firearms and leave the classification of new firearm models to the RCMP, to the experts, not to the gun industry. No new guns should come into this country before they have been examined and classified by those experts. We must stem the tide of illegal guns and drugs coming across our border with the United States.
But Mark Carney, I think, more grasping at straws than anything. And I said this from the start. There's going to be a point in this election campaign where the Liberals bring firearms in as a wedge issue. We were just waiting for the minute to happen, and guess what? It happened the other day. So in this big event with Natalie Provost and Bill Blair, instead of really, talking about the root of the issue, the gang violence, the smuggled guns, they decided, again, to go after law-abiding Canadians, law-abiding, freedom-loving Canadians who like their personal property in a direct attack as an election issue. And in my opinion, all this is just another ploy to try to get them votes.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell if Mark Carney is ignorant on firearms laws or if he is counting on the ignorance of other people. I guess it's dealer's choice. It doesn't matter either way. It's cynical and ridiculous because this law that prevents people who are even charged with intimate partner violence from having their firearms has been in place for, I guess, ever since PAL and our PAL system existed. For example, if you are filing for your renewal for your gun license or applying for the first time, you have to give what names and phone numbers of what the government describes as conjugal partners so that the government can contact them and they interview them, your exes. They interview your exes to get permission from your exes for you to own your firearms. And so this is the sort of invasive background check that firearms owners have to subject them to just to lawfully enjoy their property. And we are checked for violence every single day that we have a firearms license. Our backgrounds are checked every single day. So this is in place. It's invasive. And it's already there. But I can't tell if Mark Carney doesn't know or if he's counting on other people not knowing. Yeah,
well, conjugal partners, that leaves it wide open. They didn't use the word spouse.
No.
And if it's ridiculous, how personal do they really want to get as far as, with Bill C-71 and the background checks basically going back to when you were born, and with this conjugal partner thing, it's ridiculous. We don't have any freedoms anymore. And the thing is, firearms owners are vetted every day. We're law-abiding Canadians. We're vetted. We do have that license, which is more or less stay out of jail free card, because if you don't have one and you have firearms, you're slated as a criminal. And Mark Carney, he made a statement the other day also, and this was actually in the French Liberal debate. He said Poilievre will have people running around the street with AR-15s. We need to get the buyback going. What kind of statement is that? We had the background checks. We're not gonna take our AR-15s and be carrying them on our backs on the street. This man, in my opinion, hasn't got a clue about the firearms issue. I don't think he realizes what's really going on, and he's taking advice from people from gun banners. Natalie Provost, prime example. She says she was never a lobbyist. She never She never did anything as far as lobbying goes. But you look at her, that's all she's done in the last bunch of years. And now the Liberals, as a reward, I guess, gave her a position to run in the federal election.